Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, episode 410, titled The Getaway, which premiered Monday, April 8th, 2019 on the CW. I'm recording roughly 40 minutes after the episode is aired, so huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. My other video reminders are up on screen. Take a moment to remind yourselves of those. I'm going to try to do this in 15 minutes, so let's start the clock and let's begin with what happened in this episode. So timeline-wise, I think it's the day after the events of 410. It's definitely long enough for Mona and Mick to return to the Wave Rider. And I think it's also the next day because Ava has taken a leave of absence, I think is what they called it. So I think that. But episode reminder, I'd say family road trip. Definitely the RV is a huge reminder itself. Plus, that is the name of the RV, the Getaway. So there's that. The villain or creature of this episode is the Truth Bug. Once consumed, the person is forced to tell the truth until the bug is coughed back up again, and the bug flies towards lies. So even if it's in the vicinity of someone who, say it's three people, one person tells a lie and the other a truth, the bug will go to the one with the lie, forcing them to tell the truth that they're supposed to. So that's how it works there. So storyline wise, I picked up on three different storylines. They do kind of interconnect with each other in some way or form, but they do stand alone as well, as opposed to their focus. So the first one I'll say will be the Truth Bug Mayhem in 1973. Second one is the Legends being on the run. And the third one being uncovering a conspiracy. So with the first storyline with Truth Bug Mayhem in 1973, this has to deal with President Nixon suddenly finding that he's always telling the truth, which has the Legends on alert and going to try to fix it. This is where they find out about the Truth Bug, which causes a bunch of mayhem as it jumps between members of the Legends team as it gets consumed, which is just gross to begin with. But Mono's reaction to it the first time it happened was just, it was funny. So there's that. So with the second one, while all that's happening, they're also on the run, the Legends team, because Hank is now taking over Ava's role as director during her absence, and he wants to detain the Legends and put them on lockdown. So while the Legends are trying to deal with Nixon and they're doing it at the back of an RV, Nathan and Zari are trying to delay Hank and the Time Bureau's attempts to get them. And while all that's happening, Zari has recruited Gary to continue with story number 3, which is uncovering a conspiracy. So while she's helping Nathan help the Legends, Zari tasked Gary to find out more about the conspiracy that Hank is trying to hide. And because of this, Gary then recruits Nora to help him out, saying that if they don't find out, she might be the next one taken by the men in black suits. So they end up finding that Hank has been smuggling materials throughout time, so using time traveling for personal gain, and then he's using it to build something or do something which leads to the experimentation on the magical creature. Zara even tells Nathan that what she's seeing with all of the evidence Gary pulled up, it's reminiscent of what future Argus is doing in her time. So there's stuff like that there. Last moments of the episode shows Nora finding Hank's dead body and being caught by Nathan and being swarmed by Time Bureau agents. She escapes with her powers, but everyone believes she's the one that killed Hank when it was actually Neuron who did it. So, tidbit-wise, first one, Nora reacts violently to Neuron's presence. He's still taking the face of Desmond. Plus, it seems like she not only reacts in his presence, but she reacts to him using magic, I guess, from the looks of it. And we do find out that Neuron is the one that approached Hank about this secret project that we're calling a conspiracy at the moment. We also have Nathan telling Hank the truth about his feelings on their dynamic to each other. It's also the first time he tells Hank that he loves him as an adult. Also, Nathan admits to being open to the idea of a relation with Zari while under the truth bug's effect. We also have Sarah accidentally blaming everything bad that's happened recently on Mona, before apologizing and promising to be there for Mona. So that was all because of the truth bug again. And then also, Charlie was only in it briefly because she was forgotten at the hospital when she was tasked with the role to pretend to be Nixon with her shapeshifting power. So there's that. So let's move on to the most shocking moment of the episode. I think it has to be the fact that Neuron killed Hank. And the fact that the conspiracy plan we're trying to look into is actually something that Neuron had approached Hank about. So it wasn't Hank's idea initially. He just joined on after Neuron approached him because he believed in the work that he was trying to do. What that work is, we do not know. We just are left to assume that it's experimenting of some sorts. So that was a surprise there. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised based on like how the progress Nathan and Hank were dealing with. Something was bound to happen to kind of put that in its place. But moving on, top 3 favorite moments, I do have 4. First one being Sarah's promise to Mona, that whole apology and that confrontation, and how after Mona transformed back into herself and getting reassurance from Sarah, like, yeah, I'm still going to be there for you type of thing, and definitely lending her shoulder to her. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate that Sarah was trying to make amends for the words that she said. So there's that. Another thing I liked was also comfort was Constantine checking up on Sarah during their walk to the diner. I really appreciate that he wanted to see where her head was at, because she is just dealing with the breakup. She's dealing with the being on the run, and everything is piling up on her. I like that he wanted to check up on her, and he still gave her advice by reversing the role, saying, well, if I was in this situation and you were giving me advice, this is what you would have said. Whether or not I believe it or not, the words are still true. So he kind of gives her advice back to her. So I really appreciate that they had that moment for him to give her the support she needs before she was able to give the support to Mona that she needs, type of things. It's a chain reaction, which I really appreciate. So there's that. Another thing was just this whole episode, mixed comments during the whole RV trip were just entertaining as crazy. I always love mixed comments. They definitely cause some trouble. He's definitely the unpredictable one in the group, though his reactions are predictable in the fact that you know how he's gonna react. It's just I love him. He's just he's not who you expect. So it's just like he has a different taste to it, I guess. I don't know what to say. I just like mixed comments. They're hilarious. They're entertaining. So there's that. Another favorite I had was the fact that we got to see not only Gary trying to take on the conspiracy and try to figure things out, but the fact that he recruited Nora, and then seeing them work together was just great. And then also how in their goodbye she was telling him to be careful, and like you definitely see a growth between the two of them. So I really appreciated that. But moving on to top 3 peeved moments. First peeve I had was Hank thinking that he could just take Neuron's project away from him and bring Nathan on as his new partner instead of Neuron. I mean, I kept finding out that the project is actually Neuron's to begin with. I was really ticked off with the fact that Hank just believed that, oh, now that he's a part of it, he can just take it away from the creator and just bring someone new on. It's like, no, that's not how it works. If you're not going to be a part of the project anymore, then you leave the project with the one who approached you with it. That's like me saying that someone recruits me or hires me for a job. I don't like the job, and it's a 2-person job. I don't like the job, and I just kick them off of it when they're the one that approached me with it, and I bring it to someone else. Like, no, that's not the case. If you got recruited to do a job and you suddenly don't want any part of the person with the job, yet you like the project, you don't take the project. The project's not yours to begin with. So while it's a bad project that we're talking about right now between Neuron and Hank and stuff, it's still the principle of the situation that kind of ticked me off. The fact that Hank believed that he could take a project that wasn't originally his and bring someone else new to replace the original person. It's just like, no, that's not proper etiquette. That's like wrong. That's like, minus the fact it's a bad job, but it's just the behavior of it. It's like, no, that's not how you do things. So that was a peeve there. Another peeve for me was just President Nixon himself. I mean, was that really how he talked, or was this just like a very dramatized version and merely poking fun at it? Like, I don't know. It got very old very fast. I just like, yes, keep sedating him with the trank gun, please, because I don't want to hear him talk. So there's that. What moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? Road trip aspect of it, just for sure. The fact that it was similar to the fact it's a family road trip, and the legends are kind of like a family. So there's that. But random questions very quickly. First one, how does Amaya have her shape-shifting abilities back? It seems like so soon for her to have full working function of it, when it feels like just a few episodes ago, she was struggling to do the simplest of changes for her. So plus it doesn't seem like it's been that long since the episode's events happened. It's not like it's been 3 months between 409 or 408 and 409. It literally happens within less than a day of the gap. So it's like, I don't know, I'm confused by that. Next question. Doesn't the Time Bureau have magic usage alarms on their property, or is it only for the prisoner cells once they've been breached, like with Nora? Nora, pretty much, I think she either overpowered her magical barrier, or she consumed the magic in order for her to escape. She did something to it, and that would set off an alarm, which I would get. So that makes sense. But then I'm wondering, Neuron used magic within the offices of the Time Bureau. So I'm wondering, did alarms go off for that? Or were they reacting to Nora's use of magic containment breaching, and they just assumed it was her, especially when they saw her over Hank's dead body. So if not, I feel like they should have had just alarms around anywhere, so that they knew that, like, well, if Nora's in her cell and the alarm's going off in Hank's office, then it's like, well, who else is using magic, type of thing. They should, especially if they're dealing with magic users frequently. But yeah, there's that. And last question: will Nora go to the Legends for help now that she's a wanted fugitive for a different reason? So there's that. So moving on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 411, it looks like we get Hank's funeral. It also looks like Constantine senses Hank's spirit, and we do see him seeing possibly a vision of Neuron, probably posing as Desmond, hopefully, fingers crossed, but there's that. But the synopsis for the episode reads that when Mona discovers that her favorite author, Jane Austen, must be at the epicenter of a magical alert, Mona, Sarah, Charlie, and Zari find themselves in 1809. There's too many rhyming names there. But anyways, when Nate's still dealing with family issues, Constantine and Mick perform a seance and receive a message from the other world that rocks Constantine to his core. Meanwhile, Ray and Nora are forced into close quarters. So based off of that, it looks like Constantine, Mick go with Nate to the funeral, and then Nora's probably gone to Ray for help, obviously. But Mona, Sarah, Charlie, and Zari, that's so many rhyming ones, but they get on a new... I'm kind of surprised they're going on a separate mission of their own. I would figure that they would want to be there for Nate and pay the respects and stuff like that. And then especially be connected to whatever Neuron discoveries that come with it. But the fact that they're doing a separate case while this is all happening, I'm kind of surprised by that. So I guess we'll have to see what happens with all that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it. For the rest of the season, they do have to figure out not only what the secret project is about, but they also have to deal with Neuron and Constantine's beef with him. Also, that's probably only two things, right? The magical creature disappearance, and then also Neuron being back and the whole soul tethering thing. I'm wondering, will they be able to... It's only 6 episodes left, so will they be able to figure that out by the end of that, or will this carry over to the next season? I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. But what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think will happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and opinions about what you think will happen next. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. Go check that out. A little behind, but it is a work in progress, so keep that in mind as well. WordPress account, link for that is down below. Anything I post online is connected to WordPress. A little more organized, a little more detailed, but again, still work in progress. But otherwise, that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back next week to see what to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week wherever you are. And I have less than 2 minutes on the timer. Yay me. Bye, guys.